The moment the airline attendant refused Marcus Bennett's business class ticket, something inside him snapped. He could feel the eyes of every passenger in the terminal burning into his back, watching as he, a black executive, was being denied his rightful seat, not because of policy, but because of perception. With calculated precision, Marcus reached for his phone instead of surrendering to humiliation. "That won't be necessary," he stated calmly, his composed exterior masking the storm brewing within. The white businessman behind him smirked, adjusting his cheap tie, while the attendant crossed her arms. Defensively, Marcus's thoughts raced through memories of countless similar encounters, moments when his appearance overshadowed his achievements. They featured on real-life stories now last month. These subtle confrontations happen daily to successful minorities across America. The airline attendant's desk phone rang, shattering the tense silence. Her face transformed from smug confidence to sheer panic as she listened to the voice on the other end. What she didn't realize was that Marcus wasn't just any passenger. He was about to deliver a masterclass in consequences that would change company policy forever. Marcus's phone call created an immediate shift in the atmosphere. The once bustling terminal seemed to freeze as passengers watched the confrontation unfold. The attendant's expression morphed from irritation to confusion as she answered her desk phone. "Yes, this is the check-in desk for Flight 308 to London," she stated professionally. Within seconds, her confident demeanor crumbled. Her face drained of color as she processed the information coming through the line. I understand," she stammered, glancing nervously at Marcus. Her hands visibly trembled as she placed the receiver down. Marcus tucked his phone away and adjusted his impeccable cufflinks. "You were saying something about me not belonging in business class?" The businessman who had been gloating moments earlier shifted uncomfortably. Several passengers began recording the interaction, sensing the dramatic power reversal taking place. A young black woman nearby couldn't suppress her satisfied smile as she held up her phone, documenting what was about to become a viral moment. The attendant frantically clicked through her computer system, her eyes widening at the information displayed on her screen. The flashing alert revealed what she had failed to recognize: Marcus Bennett, Chief Executive Officer of Titan Airways, the very company she worked for. I didn't realize," she whispered, mortification coloring her features. Marcus nodded slowly. "No, you didn't." The businessman who had been so smug just moments before gripped his suitcase handle with white knuckles. "CEO? That can't be right. Would you like me to prove it?" Marcus asked calmly, if orchestrated. The airport's digital monitors simultaneously displayed an announcement asterisk effective immediately. Titan Airways reaffirms its commitment to exceptional service and inclusivity. Discrimination has no place in our company. Asterisk murmurs rippled through the growing crowd of spectators. The businessman swallowed hard, looking frantically between Marcus, the horrified attendant, and the monitors broadcasting what appeared to be a real-time corporate response. "Looks like corporate is watching," Marcus observed, his voice measured despite the thundering victory in his chest. The attendant opened and closed her mouth repeatedly, struggling to find words. Marcus remained composed, his steady gaze fixed on her. "You assumed I didn't belong because of how I look," he stated. "Not because of my ticket, not because of policy, just because of your preconceptions." "Sir, Mr. Bennett, I deeply apologize," she stammered. Marcus raised his hand, stopping her. "Don't apologize to me. Apologize to every person who's ever been dismissed, disrespected, or devalued because someone assumed they weren't good enough." The businessman suddenly grabbed his luggage. "I'll just, board now," he muttered, practically sprinting toward the gate. Marcus allowed himself a small smile. That's what I thought. The terminal had transformed. People who had previously ignored or dismissed Marcus now regarded him with newfound respect and admiration. Some passengers nodded approvingly. Others whispered among themselves about what they were witnessing. The attendant's fingers flew across her keyboard in desperation, confirming what she already knew. She had made a career-altering mistake. You're "You're Mr. Bennett." "The Marcus Bennett?" she asked, voice barely audible. "Oh, so now you know my name?" Marcus replied, his tone revealing the absurdity of the situation. Meanwhile, airport security approached, responding to the commotion. The businessman, previously reveling in his perceived superiority, now stood with downcast eyes as an officer escorted him away from the gate area. The attendant gripped the counter for support, her professional composure completely shattered. "Mr. Bennett, I deeply apologize," she pleaded, genuine fear in her eyes. That Marcus's voice remained firm yet controlled. "Apologies don't undo the bias in your actions. If I were anyone else, this incident would have been brushed aside. But you didn't expect your actions to have consequences." A corporate executive, clearly having rushed from the upper floors, arrived breathless at the counter. He looked between Marcus and the terrified attendant before stepping forward. "Mr. Bennett, we are so sorry for this incident. Please allow us to make things right." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Oh, don't worry. I'm about to." The terminal fell into stunned silence as security approached the attendant. Marcus turned toward the executive. "Now," he said smoothly, "I assume you understand that this isn't just about me?" The executive nodded vigorously. "Absolutely, sir. This behavior is completely unacceptable. We will conduct immediate training for all staff to prevent anything like this from happening again." Marcus's expression remained serious. "We're not stopping at training." He gestured toward the crowd, many still recording with their phones. "Every person here witnessed why your customer service standards need a complete overhaul. Consider this your first and only warning. I expect a full internal review, and I'll personally oversee it." The executive swallowed hard. "Understood, sir." Satisfied with the response, Marcus collected his boarding pass and headed toward his rightful first-class seat. As he walked through the terminal, several passengers nodded respectfully. A few even applauded his handling of the situation. Once aboard, a different flight attendant approached nervously. "Mr. Bennett, would you like a drink before takeoff?" Marcus settled into his luxurious seat, finally allowing himself to relax. "Yes," he replied. "And make sure it's the finest on board." The energy throughout the aircraft had completely transformed. The once dismissive airline staff now scrambled to provide impeccable service, their faces reflecting a mixture of nervousness and forced politeness. Even the captain emerged from the cockpit, adjusting his hat as he approached Marcus with an apologetic smile. "Mr. Bennett," the captain said, extending his hand, "we sincerely regret the treatment you received today. Please allow us to personally ensure your comfort for the duration of this flight." Marcus accepted the handshake but didn't return the insincere pleasantries. Instead, his attention drifted to the economy section, where an older black gentleman sat in a modest but well-pressed suit, quietly reading a newspaper. "Actually," Marcus thought, "there is something you can do."